Hello and welcome to Bread of Life, a daily devotional program which each week features a different area pastor. Our speaker for this week is Pastor Charlton Daley of Manchester.
Welcome to Bread of Life. Our theme for this week has been Jesus in the Old Testament. Today, Joseph will be your focus. I did not understand them then, but I do now. Those theologically profound words of my late grandmother. She would say, God works in mysterious ways, his wonders to perform. In Romans 11 verse 33, Paul said it like this, "Oh, the depth of the riches both of the wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable are his judgments, and his ways past finding out." While evil intentions are never justified, God uses evil to accomplish his good. A paradox, I know, but this reflects the greatness of God. Jacob played the favorite with his son Joseph and singled him out from his brothers. They hated him, and the dreams he had did not make it any easier. Genesis 37 verse 3-4 says, "Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was a son of his old age. Also he made him a tunic of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him." God the Father also singled out his son, Jesus, at the start of his earthly ministry. In Matthew 3, verse 17, it says, "And suddenly a voice came from heaven saying, 'This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.'" While Jacob may have acted foolishly and selfishly, God operates wisely and righteously. Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers, seeing that they warranted supervision. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to his father, it is said. Jesus came to check on us. Our actions needed his intervention. John 1 verse 11-12 says, "He came to his own people, and even they rejected him. But to all who believed him and accepted him, he gave the right to become children of God." As for Joseph, Genesis 37, 18-20 says, "Now when they saw him afar off, even before he came near them, they conspired against him to kill him. Then they said to one another, 'Look, this dreamer is coming. Come therefore, let us now kill him and cast him into some pit, and we shall say, some wild beast has devoured him. We shall see what will become of his dreams.' They plotted to kill him like they did Jesus. These boys were deceptive and violent murderers. In Genesis 34, they took deadly vengeance on a city because they violated their sister. When they said, 'Let's kill him,' they were not playing. Joseph was misunderstood just like Jesus. In Genesis 37, verse 8, it says, "And his brothers said to him, 'Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us?' So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. They did not know it was God's doing. Like Joseph, they conspired to kill Jesus, but every knee will bow before him, as the brothers would also bow to Joseph. They sold Joseph to slave traders for the price of a teenage slave. Jesus was betrayed and sold by his own brethren, Judas. Joseph was brought to Egypt, and through a series of God-ordained events, he was promoted to a position second only to Pharaoh. Famine had gripped the region, but food was in Egypt by the wisdom of Joseph and the favor of God. His brothers found themselves there at his mercy, but they did not recognize him. He would test them to see if they had changed. Genesis 42:21 says, "Then they said to one another, 'We are truly guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us, and we would not hear. Therefore this distress has come upon us.' They could not see it, but their evil actions had positioned Joseph to save them. Just as Jesus' death would provide salvation even for those who killed him. Genesis 50 verse 20, Joseph said, 'But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive.' So don't hate your haters and become like them. They are your assignment to love. Joseph was gracious to forgive his brothers, a sign pointing to Jesus. John 3 verse 17 says, "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." Consider God's elaborate plan of redemption, how it came together. The God who worked in and through Joseph's life to bring about the work of Christ is the same God working for you, in you, and through you. Trust him today. Let's meet again next time for more Bread of Life with our theme, Jesus in the Old Testament.
You've been listening to Pastor Charlton Daley of Manchester, and this has been Bread of Life, a program to encourage you from God's Word.